listen. And I'm just curious how you learned how to listen.
I don't know that I learned as much as I was forced to,
Mm.
because early on in starting the business, you have some preconceived ideas, you hear stories like my father would say, in his business world, meetings are a waste of time. And, I didn't have meetings, right? Because it was a waste of time, according to my father.
Right.
And eventually, as I start to say, okay, what actually do I need to learn in order to put the tools into this business, get the processes and the procedures right? I literally went back to school in my 50s and got an MBA in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And I was handed a book as well by Gino Wickman called Traction. So those things basically, I guess, simplified, this gets to the listening part in a second, simplified here's what you need to do. And so what I then did is I said to each one of the employees at the time, we were relatively small, I said, here's the book, read this, we're going to back together in a month, and this is our Bible, right? And all of you can provide feedback and input on how we're going to move this forward. What's our vision? What's our mission? What people would say early on, you got to have the right people. And I'm like, I can't even afford to pay myself. You want me to pay the right people? I didn't understand that that meant culture and what is the culture, right? And then you have to have a KPI or KPIs. And I'm like, okay, I didn't know what a KPI was. And so, I have to learn. And then that means you have to listen. Okay, you, just like a good producer, you know more about your job than I do. So I'm going to listen and then we're going to work together to try to make that move forward, right? I think there are very few people who know everything about every component of the business that can move it forward. You've got to listen to the people that know more about you and trust what they're saying as part of the team.